Good morning, everyone. My name is Louise from Clarity Crafts here in the UK. Welcome to Groovi Tuesday. Hope everybody's well and enjoyed their bank holiday. Had a nice extra day, so I spent a little bit of time in the garden this weekend and a little bit of doing parchment. So a little bit outside, a little bit inside. But Paul's going to be in the room with you today, I believe, and I'm just waiting for the all clear on the sound from Paul. So I thought I'd just have a little bit of a ramble before we get into the last week of this project that we've been working on for the last 5 weeks or so. And then we're going to focus on another project, still using Barbara's the Japanese tiles. So because why not? Because there's 6 different designs on each plate, so might as well make good use out of them. So yeah, so 5 or 6 weeks of that. So that's and I'll show you, I think, at the end of this session what we're going to be doing next week. So then we can have a little chat about it. But I'm going to do a bit of picot cutting and a little bit of using the perga glitter with the mapping pen today. So we're finalising the project. So it's all done. All I can see, sound is nice and clear. Thank you, Paul. And we've got some lovely friends in the room now. Everybody's coming in. Welcome. Hope everybody had a lovely weekend. I'd like to know what everybody got up to. Did you spend some time in the garden? It wasn't very sunny. Well, not too sunny. I think Sunday there was a little bit of sun, but it is bank holiday, so we never seem to have nice weather on Bank holiday. But we had some nice weather last week, so I suppose that made up for it. But it's perfect weather for gardening because it's not too hot. So because it is when I'm doing gardening and when it gets sunny, it's just so hot in the garden. You can't really, especially between about 12 and 3 when it's really hot. So lovely. So yes, if everybody has any questions, they can ask Paul or ask me. I'll be looking at the chat now and again. Good morning, everybody. It's nice to see everybody. Yeah, so welcome. So I thought, today I was just I was looking at the wisteria this morning. I took a picture of it actually because it's so beautiful. I might just quickly show you how beautiful it is. I'm just going to bring in the camera now. I know that the sound is all nice and clear. I thought I'll bring in the wisteria because it's really beautiful. I will see if the camera can pick it up. Let me bring in a little bit closer. There we go. So I think if I bring it in, you can really, you can't really, I think it's the black mat. Oh, there we go. So there's all of the wisteria there. That's artificial one. I got that from Home Bargains. But yeah, all of this wisteria here is so beautiful. And it's starting to all fall. So now there's a purple carpet where it used to be nice and oh, sorry, let me come back to the front screen. Where it used to be lovely, and I swept it last week, and there's just a carpet of purple again. So I thought I'll wait until it's all fallen and then I'll sweep, because otherwise I'll be doing it every day. But oh, lovely. So it's sunny in Estempona. Lovely. Nice. Yeah, it's a little bit nippy now. It's getting a bit nippy. Okay, so now we have a good number of friends in the room. So I thought I'd show you where we're up to now. Let me just bring in the overhead. There we go. So I have, for my homework, I have cut out all of the extra pieces. So that's all done. And I've even cut out the little corners in this one, which I didn't in the first one. But I think I moved these in a little bit to nearer the centre, so which looks nice as well because you've got some nice little corners there as well. So I thought what I'll do is I re-perforated around 3 sides here. So I've just got one more side to re-perforate, and then we can go into the final bit of picot cutting, and we can picot cut all of this out, and then I'm going to put it onto a card. So I've already pre-cut them all because nobody wants to see me cut out things. So I'm going to put this one on top of here, put it on here, and you can really see the difference when you put the parchment on top of the card. It really makes the parchment pop, doesn't it? So yeah, so we're going to do that. And then after I've attached the card onto there, then I thought at the end I'll do the perga glitter, because if I've done the perga glitter before I've attached it all, my hands are going to get all glittery and yeah, so it's going to start rubbing off a little bit. So yeah, so that's where we're at now. So I'll bring in the Pico foam and my super foam, and I'm just going to re-perforate through here. So who watched Barbara and Paul's show on Sunday between 3 and 5? That was really good. If you haven't seen it, then you can always watch back on YouTube. So it's that's the good thing about that, is you can always watch back. I loved Sunday's TV. It was brilliant. And what a clever idea Barbara used to let me go over here. Here we go. So we can, this is the last one I've got to re-perforate. You can really see the difference if I come into the overhead, sorry. So I've re-perforated here, but I haven't re-perforated here. So that's re-perforated and that's not. So I'm just going to do that now. I'll bring into the, there we go, over here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to bring in the Groovi guard just because it's easier. But yeah, so I watched the show on Sunday, and that was brilliant. I mean, they really did go really well. So I know you all loved them. But yeah, it was a brilliant show. And to use the ink pad on the die, I'd never really thought about that. But it's such a good trick because you didn't have to then come in with your black micron pen and try and frame it. You can use the die, put the distress ink pad on it, and then die cut the card, and then you've got the outline everywhere. So I thought that was a really, really good idea. I never thought about that. So yeah, I was really, yeah, it was a really good show. I really enjoyed it. And Barbara and Paul make a really good team. So always giggles and everything. So it's, yeah, the Sunday show, it was nice to just watch it while I was doing a little bit of crafting and getting all my bits and bobs ready for the next workshop. So just finalising the leaflet and everything, so that should be coming soon. But yeah, it was a really clever idea. And then obviously Barbara's going to finish off the last demo that she didn't get to on this Thursday, 7 p.m. So yeah, that's going to be worth watching as well. But yeah, the dies, what a brilliant idea, because I mean, the 8x8 versions that you can do with the workshop, it's worth watching or going for the online workshops if you haven't, because there's lots of tips and tricks on that. But to be able to buy the dies that create the collage itself, the lighthouse and everything, it's such a brilliant idea. To spend that amount of time, all you've got to do is die cut it out. It's all there. Die cut on 5 different bits of paper, and then you can all mix and match, and it's all perfect then. So there we go. So I've re-perforated there. So let me show you, all nice and perforated. So let me come out a little bit. I'm going to come in with my perga cutters. Yeah, definitely, Lillian, watch it today if you can, because it's yeah, it's really worth watching. So I'm coming in with the and I do love the wing tool. have a bit like how I love the angle tool, because it creates this really lovely castle turret. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do them all one side, and then I can turn it the other way and do the other side. Because one, it means that I don't have to keep on moving the parchment, and so I'm not getting my finger marks all over it, and it is quicker as well if you do all one way and then the other way afterwards. So that's yeah, that's where this is the journey we're on at the moment. Picot cutting down the sides. But yeah, so yeah, they were really, really good shows. So it's just nice to listen to people talking about crafting when you're actually crafting. I tend to put my earphones on and my phone on and watch YouTube on or listen to it on my phone, and then I put the phone in front of me and just peek at it now and again when I'm doing all my white work prep at the moment. I've got my little conveyor belt of white work stages. So yeah, I'm getting through the stages now, because I have to do stages for every course. So I've got 3 lots of stages to do, and then I have to do 2 final pieces that are ready for the pre-record and the live. So yeah, I'm nice and busy at the moment, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I don't like not being busy. My brain works too much then. So yeah, it keeps me out of trouble if I'm keeping busy. I've already done that bit. Which bits haven't I done? There we go. So yeah, so just working my way around the card, and hopefully it won't take too long, and then we can go on to the exciting bit, perga glitter. How does everybody store their perga glitter? Do you store it still in the little pots that it comes in the box? I did that for a long time, but then I decided I have 2 lots of perga glitter. I have some still in their pots just in case I want to use a hint of one colour, but then I bought a second lot of perga glitter because you can never have too much glitter. And I stored all 6 pots in one box, which I'll show in a little while. And it's so I put all of our perga glitter. So you have the hint of blue, pink, green, copper, or the silver and gold. So I put them all in one box. So now I have multicoloured glitter, which is really lovely on a project. But I always fall in love every time a design team sample comes through. I see all of the lovely, the ones with the perga glitter. It's a bit like, I do love sparkles. So let's, I'm coming down the second side now. So you'll probably be able to see if I, oh, there's no scissors. I'm going to cheat and use my, there we go. So you'll see all of the castle turrets appear. And put that to one side. So you can really see them. Bring it up close. Yeah, castle turrets. Let me come back out again. Yeah, I only did that in the last year or so, because I just thought, oh, what about if I put a little bit all together, and then I liked it so much that I then put all of the pots in together in one box. So they can never have too much glitter. But yeah, so we're going to use the mapping pen today. I don't know if how many people enjoy using the mapping pen. Reminds me of like quills in the olden days. It's a proper fountain pen nib, isn't it? but I have the mapping pen nibs. I have like a spare set as well, so I think it's a set of 10 or a set of 12. I can't remember. Paul might know. Well, Paul would definitely know. But I bought an extra pack of those because they're very useful to have. To have the some extra nibs, because I use obviously a couple of nibs for my sticky ink, and then I use some more nibs for when I use gold ink. So yeah, because I sometimes I'll use the mapping pen with some gold ink for samples. So yes, those mapping pens really do come in handy. Oh, thank you, Paul. Yes, pack of 12. Yeah, I knew it was one or the other. But there we go. A little second side of Castle Turrets is appearing. It reminds me, I really want to go to Hever Castle this year. I'm going to take Mum, maybe my brother, if he wants to come. It's just nice to, I mean, as a child, I used to go there all the time because I used to live in Edenbridge as a child. Then I moved over to Burgess Hill for quite a few years, but then I came back to Edenbridge to be with my mum when I was 25, a good 10 years ago. And yeah, so I used to go to Hever. When I was a child, I used to love going through the castle. And they used to have, I don't know if they still have it, they probably do, because it's always busy that side, but they have like a water maze. They have a proper maze, which I got lost in as a child. I didn't go into mazes for quite a while after that because I was so distraught that I couldn't find my way out. You know, you think oh, I'll try and let me just move that aside. There we go. Yeah, I got so distraught because I couldn't find my way out of the maze. But they have a water maze as well, so on a hot day, the water maze would be nice. But as a child, I used to go around the water maze and used to try and have to go around all of the stones, because if you trod on one side of the paving stone, the other side used to shoot up with fountains of water. So you had to learn your way to the centre and back without treading on the stones that would get you wet. You never beat kind of like when I was a kid, I think it was the last generation of, because I think I was about 10 or 11 when I had a Nokia phone, but I used to be outside all the time as a child, getting into some sort of mischief. Used to like riding my bike a lot, but yeah, or being out in the garden. I really enjoyed being out in the garden. We had bunny rabbits and guinea pigs when I was younger as well, and they used to run around the garden. But yeah, I used to sneak some veggies out of the kitchen, and they'd go and feed the rabbits. I mean, even though they had their morning and evening little veggies, I used to sneak them some more. But yeah, they were lovely. Yeah, I love Hever Castle too. It's really really beautiful, and the history, because I do love learning about anything to do with Tudor history. Anything from Henry the Seventh through to Elizabeth the First. It's yeah, I love learning anything about Tudor history. I really enjoyed watching the Philippa Gregory series as well, you know, the White Queen, the White Princess, the Spanish Princess. They're right up my street. I love them. But yeah, anything new that comes out about well, any kind of history really, but especially Tudor history. And yeah, Hever is just, for me, it's a happy place. But yeah, they do say it's. Some people have said it's haunted. So apparently the gallery is haunted. But yeah, so it's a really lovely place to go, and they've got a lovely cafe near the lake as well. So if you ever are in area, so say you were, for example, going to come down to the open days in Maidstone, and if you wanted to make a nice week of it or something, then definitely have a look at Hever. It's really lovely if you haven't been. Really beautiful. I used to have a membership there. They even have a bed and breakfast hotel there as well. Me and my mum went to stay one time. The breakfast was really nice. But you could, after everybody had left Hever, you could actually, on your own, walk around the grounds. As long as you had your, you know, your little hotel pass, they'd let you walk around the grounds when it was more or less empty. But yeah, it was really beautiful. Definitely worth having a look at, I would say. Okay, so working my way nearly there. Lots of snipping. Relaxing and therapeutic. I kept my my scraps from when I was cutting up the paper and the parchment as well, because I find they're sometimes really useful for say you've got a really thin strip. I mean, this isn't a very thin strip, but you know, thinner, nice orange colour. I would cut that a little bit thinner, and then I can use that as a ribbon. Going through, you know, the Josie's ribbon dies. So yeah, I keep my scraps. You never know when they're needed. And like the bigger scraps I'd have for maybe a tag or something. So, for example, this will make a really lovely tag, you know, like we were doing last week, and it's got a really lovely tone to it. So, or I could use that as a couple of mini makes because they're nice, and if I made a little square. So yeah, always come in handy. I never throw anything away. Well, crafting anyway. Right, so nearly there. Last side to cut. There we go. Working our way down. There's some really lovely castles actually down in Kent. I know, I'm not sure, I think we were talking about it last week. There's a Leeds castle that's near Maidstone. So that's worth having a look at as well. Too many lovely castles. This summer I'd like to go to Glastonbury, not for the festival, but for the actual town. They have a lot of history about King Arthur and Merlin near Glastonbury. Lots of interesting things to see there as well. So I'd love to do that this year. That's on my bucket list for 2025. Go to Glastonbury, but not in June or July, because it will be very, very busy. Have I got? There we go. I think I've. No. It's one little bit. It always happens when I do PK cutting. There's always this one little bit that you miss, and then you're thinking, how is it staying on? There we go. So that is that's our finished piece, all cut out and everything. So what I'll do now is I'm going to attach it to my card. Talk amongst yourselves while I do this. What I'm going to do is I've cut it quite small. Let me go out a little bit. There we go. You can see it better then. So yeah, so that's going to be it finished. So I'm just I've got my little white brads here. So I'm just lining it up. Ooh, I was about to use my mapping pen then to pierce holes. That's not going to work, is it? There we go. So I'm going to pierce in the centre of this flower in the corner, and I'm going through all of I'm just giving it a little twist, going through all of the layers. Trying to pick up a white brad. It's a skill in itself, but these white brads are really, really lovely and teeny tiny. So then you just probably don't really see this side of crafting too much, do we? Layering and putting it onto a card. But come here, you little monkey. You little pickle, come here. There we go. Reminds me, I need to get my nails redone. I go to the nail salon and I say, can I have, let me do it again actually. Can I have them as short as possible, please? They're like, why? I say, because I have to do crafting and I can't do them with long nails. So yeah, I need to go and get them redone and made shorter now. I never realised, because before I put having nails put on, because beforehand I had this awful habit of biting my nails, and having acrylic nails kind of stops that for me. For some reason, I don't, obviously I do, and then I kick the habit. But as soon as I take them off, I will redo it. Sorry. I knew this would take a little while for me to do today. I was going to do them on Saturday, get them redone. You will go through. There we go. I'll just do 2 for now, because then at least we know that it's all joined up. So I'm just going to separate them with my 1 needle tool, because they're so fiddly. There we go. So that is the piece of art all stuck together. I've done 2 white brads, but I will do 2 more actually, just because. I keep my white brads in one of these as well, because they're very useful. They're very handy. I'm just going to do the other side actually, because if I don't, it's going to poke up, and then that's going to really annoy me. Watching. There we go. Try it this way. Now I'm doing it on top of my Pico foam and super foam. There we go. Last one. Also, if you didn't, if you wanted to make it a little bit more intricate, you could use the rainbow parchment. You could, once you've attached the parchment to the clear parchment onto the rainbow parchment, you could then do another wing tool around the outside, so make it double layered. That would look really nice. There we go. Last one. That wasn't too bad, was it? She says. There we go. Ta-da! Okay, so now we've done that part, I'm going to come in with my Perga glitter. So I've got my mapping pen, and I've got my sticky ink. And if I move this aside, I have in a clear A5 box, I've got my Perga glitter. There's a lot in there. So yeah, I keep it all in that, because what I usually do is I have my empty pot of Perga glitter here. I would scoop it up and then I'd sprinkle over my work over the clear box. And that way it kind of stops it from going all over my desk, which is very, very possible thing to do for me. So first of all, I'm going to, that's a 1 needle tool, I don't need that. And I've lost my other cap. Oh, there it is. Put on that, because I don't know how many people have done that, but I've forgotten to put my cap on my 1 needle tool. And then I've got, had a little stab from it. So yeah, not good. So I'm just going to shake my sticky ink. There we go. There's my little pot. So if I show you on here, so you want to pick up some ink on here. Let me bring it in a bit closer. There we go. So you can use the nib like this straight down. This will give you a thicker line like that. Or you can use it more like a pen and slightly at an angle like this, which will make a thinner line. So always good. So then you can even write hello. and then you put your little glitter over it. So yeah, so straight down like this, thicker line, and then at a slight angle you can do a thinner line. Okay, so let's get cracking. So I'm just putting my sticky ink there. I can't remember where I put it, so I'm just going to make things up as I go along now. So I'm going to just, there we go. So along my straight line. Around my scroll. I just do a little blob in the centre. I go around the petals, like so. So you've got time as well, because it's sticky ink. You've got plenty of time to put your glitter on. So I'm just going around the outside of these petals. And then just go around here. If you wanted to, you could use the mapping pen is really good for fine lines and everything. We do have a quickie glue pen. Say, for example, you wanted to, do a large area of glitter, then you can use that. But this is just, it gives you such lovely fine detail. But yeah, so I use the mapping pen a lot for my sticky ink and my gold ink. There we go. And it goes for quite a while. It kind of steadily, the ink kind of steadily comes down the end of the fountain pen, but it does really last for quite a long time before you have to redo. Just checking that you can see. Oh, Carol, yes, I know you love a bit of glitter. I love seeing your samples. There's always a hint of glitter somewhere on your lovely cards, Carol. But why not? Life is happier with glitter. We will have a bit of sparkle. When you see it to the naked eye, it's absolutely beautiful. When I see some of the design team samples coming along and oh, okay, yeah, that's a good question. Which gold ink do I like to use? So actually, we have downstairs, we have this gold mica powder. Paul might be able to put the details up for me. Can't remember what it's called. But what I do is I mix it with some water and I use that. You have to get the consistency right, as long as it's not too thin, but it can also be used as like an ink. So more or less like the sticky ink kind of consistency. But yeah, that's what I use. It's I don't have it here. Oh, have I already done it? I've done that bit. Oh, I've done more. So I've done the 4 in the middle. So I thought let's put a little bit of glitter. So yeah, so I used the gold mica powder that's downstairs, and I mix that with some water, and I put it in this little pot, or a pot like it. I've got some of these now at home, and I mix it up and I put it in here, and that gives you is a really lovely gold actually from that mica powder. So yeah, I can't remember what it's actually called. But yeah, that's really nice. So I'm gonna, if I come out a little bit. But yeah, I hope that answered your question. Yeah, so I'm just gonna sprinkle it over here, over my box. And that for me, oh, she says, takes away a lot of the mess. I mean, we all love mess, but there you go, let's get a bit closer. Yeah, jelly roll pens work well too, that's true. This just gives a really lovely sparkle though. Oh, there's a bit. Oh, there's a bit. There you go. Ooh. Yeah, so that's how I'll just carry on doing a little bit of glitter for a minute. So yeah, so next week we're going to focus on something else. It's really nice. Hopefully there's a lot of composition in there, and there's a bit of tool work, and just because I've used certain tools doesn't mean that you have to use exactly the same. So yeah, so it's what am I doing? Where am I going? There we go. Let's go down here. So say for example I'm going to do the around the edge here, so I'm using the thicker line now. You can kind of see it because it's the colour's going milky, so you can see where I'm going. There we go. Also, if you wanted to do a straight, let me do it around here because otherwise I'm gonna. If you wanted to do a straight line, then I would use a little bit of card. I mean, obviously there's glitter there, so use a little bit of card. And so you wanted to go around the outside of the edge. I'd get my bit of card, get my ink. It doesn't matter then if the card gets messy. There we go. And then with my cap, yes, glitter. Then I can, so now, yeah, just use a bit of card, and then that will, you can put a little bit of glitter, put it back in there, tap it. So you've got nice edge there. Let's see if I can, come on, light, pick it up. Yes, mica powder, perfect gold. Thank you, Paul. Yeah, that's the gold mica powder that I use, and there's some downstairs. Because I was actually thinking, oh, what gold ink can I use that we have some of, because then I can use it here. I can get some downstairs and use that. So yeah, so I use the mica powder perfect gold, and that gives a really lovely gold. I use that on some of my recent pieces of art actually. So yeah, so that's how you would do your straight line, and I wish you could see what I see because it really does pop. But yeah, try it with a little bit of card, so then you know that on the side of, if you're doing it on that instead of a ruler, then it's a lot easier to use. So yeah, so I'm just get my sticky ink. I might just keep on using this actually. We've got a few minutes and then I'll show you what we're gonna do. I know a few more of you have been using the taking advantage of the die sale. That is finishing midnight tonight, the die sale. So most of our dies, a big catalogue of our dies, have been on sale for £3. I had to take advantage of that because I mean, why would you at £3? It's crazy. So yeah, so I really, I'm just going to do around here now. Yeah, so £3. I mean, that is crazy, isn't it? And really lovely dies have been in the sale as well, which is the whole reason. Like last week, I used the tag in a demo because I thought I saw so many, because I was doing a lot of picking and packing that week when all of the dies came out, And I kept on seeing these tag dies. Everybody was buying these tag dies, and I thought, oh, maybe I could, seeing as everybody's bought them, I could use them in a demo. And then they have a really lovely matching Groovi plate to them. So yeah, we had great fun last week doing that demo. Today though, we're focusing on a collection called Lucy's Folk Art Collection. And they're really lovely designs. Like, we were looking to see what we could put on this afternoon, and I saw those and I thought, oh, they're really nice. Got to be done. So yeah, so we're using those. So that was they are really lovely. So we're just going to do a little demo. I'm using some of there was quite a few demos that we can use. So I thought that'd be a nice idea, because I believe it's a Jane Telford design that I'm using as a demo, but it's got a few different bits and pieces to show. I thought that's definitely worth utilising the lovely demos. So yeah, we're gonna have a nice 2 p.m. show with those. So hopefully, I'm hoping that everybody can join us for that show. It'd be really lovely to have your company, and they are a really lovely collection as well. And the design team have outdone themselves with the beautiful designs that they've created. They always blow me away. The amazing samples that they can create really are beautiful. Okay, let's add some more glitter. I was about to pick up the sticky ink. That's not glitter. That's my pot. Oh yeah, so yeah, these plates, they came out before, quite a while ago, back in 2020, I believe. Okay, some more glitter. Sorry, I'm moving it too quickly. There we go. It looks really nice from here. It's difficult to see sometimes on the camera, but to the naked eye, it's very sparkly. There we go. So that's more or less with our sticky ink finished. Okay, I've done the middle part and that, so I thought we know how to do our sticky ink. And the good news is it stays sticky for quite a long time, so you have a lot of room. You could probably do the whole card and then put the glitter on. Obviously, if something rubs on it, then it's gonna lose that stick and it's gonna smudge. But it really does stay sticky for quite a long time. So definitely worth getting the sticky ink for doing glitter, I think. And now it's nice and sparkly on the black mat. But yeah, so that's our little piece of art. Let me put the lid on the Perga glitter before I spill it. Been known to happen. So yeah, so that's our. Let me come out a bit. That's our finished piece for the last. For the last 5-6 weeks, I think we've been doing that, so quite a while. But yeah, so the rainbow parchment together with the lovely these plates here. I don't know. I expect everybody's got them by now. But yeah, it's these plates that we're going to be using for the next one as well. So so you've got this one. It's the thinking of you plate. And then there's this one, which, I mean, there's so many cards that you can make out of these. And there's some lovely samples of using these little squares. It's like little gift cards inside a little gift set that you can create. So yeah, so those are the plates that we're going to be using in the next one. So let me bring in the card that we're going to be using. There we go. So yeah, so there's lots of composition in here. There's some white work. There's quite a few tools in here. So we've got I used a straight grid, I believe, for the outside here. So I didn't use a tool for these, but we can use a tool for them, which we could. That's a 4-needle tool. So, and then around the outside, I've used the wing tool, but we can use any tool around the outside. I did bring up a list of all of the ingredients. I put that on Groovi Worldwide. Yes, I put that on the Groovi Worldwide. So anybody that anybody that has been watching and everything, I'll use the wing tool, but we can use some other things. So we did a tool guide a couple of weeks in the last few weeks. We can maybe, if you haven't got the wing tool, we can use other tools around the outside. I've just given this as an example. Let me move it in a little bit closer for you. You might be able to. Oh, hello. There you go. So that's the top. So I've used the semicircle mini, and then this is the semicircle, the normal semicircle. Then, as you can see, I've used a little diagonal grid here, just for a bit of interest. There's a 5 in a circle tool there. Then this is the wing, but we can use any tool around the outside. Maybe I'll go through some different options that we can use as well. And then there's just a few little bits and pieces I've done in the middle. So this is the heart tool. But again, you can use any tool in the middle. I've just written hands, hugs and kisses. That was from the plate. Which one was that from? That was from the Thinking of You plate. But then again, you can use, I know a lot of us have got the sentiment plates now, the new sentiments and panels plates. So that will be coming in the next week or so to a lot of you that have bought it. So you can, put anything in the middle there, any sentiment you like, really. So yeah, so different elements from the different plates I've used. But yeah, so we use it. This is pink parchment, but you can use any colour parchment behind if you like. I've used pink because I like pink. However, you can choose any colour that you like. So there's definitely worth having a look at what colour you'd like to use. I mean, I've used a flower here, so pink and green, and around the edge, it's I've used the rose garden paper, so it's got a green and a pink tinge to it. So yeah, so a bit of white work, a little bit of perga colours, and not perga colours, perga liners, sorry. But yeah, so we've created the little heart on the second layer of the wing tool. So yeah, we'll be focusing on this one for the next 5-6 weeks. That will take us a little while. But yeah, so it's done on two different bits of parchment. So it's got a couple of layers there. So it's nice to experiment with different layers. It gives a little bit of interest, I think. But yeah, so we'll follow next week. We'll focus on the main composition of the piece of art. And again, you know, I've used the octagon plate here, and I've done some elements from the plate, but any element from the plates will do. Just I will create this element. Also, just thinking about it, this would look really lovely just with like a diagonal or a straight perforation grid. So that would look really nice with like lots of perforating holes in. That look a little bit like lace. But yeah, so lots of different things that we can try with this. I mean, this is going to be the main piece of art that we're working towards, but along the way I'll show you different ways of, different tools. Say for example you don't have the wing tool but you have the angle tool, for example, you'll still be able to do something really, really lovely. So yeah, so that's where we're heading. So I mean, if you wanted to do it exactly how this one is, I've used the wing tool, the 5 in a circle tool. That's the 4 needle tool, but you can also use a straight grid. The semicircle mini and the semicircle, pink parchment and clear parchment, pergoliners, a little bit of door soil with a spot on sponge, a little bit of white work in the petals of the flowers, and also you can either use your white work in here or you can use a white pencil. So, there's options there. And then our nice wing tool, and then diagonal grid around the outside using this little dotty effect here. But yeah, so that's where we're heading. And again, you can use glitter on it if you wanted to, but I haven't used glitter on this one. But this is one of the demos that I did for the Japanese floral tiles. So I thought we'll focus on that because there's a lot going on in it. But if we break it down, then we can, and like I've said, you can use any design in here that you wanted to. This is just going to be our basic bus journey, say for example, but you can go off on a tangent and use any tool around the outside that you like. But yeah, so that's where we're going. So yeah, it's been a really lovely couple of weeks focusing on that one. I really enjoyed that because the colours are out of my comfort zone, as I'm sure some of you might have heard from some of the shows that I've done with Paul. Is I like pink, purple and blue, but I really like the colours of that one. I thought that was really lovely, the orange and like a tealy colour. So yeah, it's out of my comfort zone, but I really enjoyed doing that. I thought that was it was a really nice, and then following on doing the last little bit of perga glitter and everything. So yeah, I think it's turned out really well. Be interesting to see who else joined along with me on this. It would be really nice to see your pieces of art on Groovi Worldwide. Really lovely to see that. I mean, I do love watching, looking at all of the lovely designs that come on Groovi Worldwide. I'm always on there. I find it's a really lovely place for, to be friends with people and to see all the lovely artwork. So it's definitely worth having a look on Groovi Worldwide if you aren't. I mean, most of you that watch Groovi Tuesday usually are on Groovi Worldwide. So yeah, it'd be really lovely to have your company over there as well. Lots of inspiration for everybody on Groovi Worldwide, and Clarity Worldwide as well if you're a stamper. So and we also obviously have our Clarity mini makes and ATCs. So that's worth having a look at if you like mini art as well. So there's some really lovely inspiration on there as well. I have my, where is it? It was here a minute ago. Yeah, so I have my little bits of on the grids on the side, which I'm going to cut out, and I'll put them in a little box and keep all of my little bits and pieces of grids because they're always handy to look back on and see what I did on what days and how I did it. So always worth having a catalogue of all of your grids. They're always handy. So I'll make sure that I keep that because that's handy. And then I've got all of my scraps here from multiple scraps, which I'll use in other cards and things, like I was saying, it's got a bit of parchment there, which you can thread into some of the ribbon things. So what they call the ribbon grids. So they're really handy, and so it shows you don't always have to put ribbon in. You can put little bits of coloured parchment in and stuff. That looks really nice. So before I go, I thought I would mention. Let me go on to number 4. Here we go. Thought I'd mention the this is the last day of getting the fresh cut dies for £3. So a few have sold out because they've been so popular. And we still got loads more though. So that finishes midnight tonight. So if anybody is interested, that is a good thing to go and have a look at. Have a look on the Clarity website, yeah, have a look and see what you can get for £3. I got quite a few dies, so because I don't normally do dies, but I thought that would get me a kickstart into, say for example, I wanted to do a really quick card. That would make sense to me, is to do a lovely die. And you can use the dies with the Groovi as well. It's like, for example, the lace frames, they look really lovely with parchment, as do cutting out a parchment tag. So always handy. So I hope everybody enjoyed the last hour of the last session of that floral tiles. We'll go on to another one next week, so I'm looking forward to that. I've got to remember what I did now. I'll break it down piece by piece. So yeah, lovely to have your company, everyone. I hope you can join me and Paul today at 2 p.m. With the Lucy's folk art collection. They're really lovely plates, really beautiful. Look nice with white work and colour. So we're going to have a look at some of the design team samples, get lots of inspiration, and then got a nice little demo to show you. So yeah, it's been lovely to have your company. Hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and hopefully see you at 2 p.m. Thank you very much. Oh, and thank you, Paul, for keeping an eye on everyone and putting all of the links up for me. That's brilliant. Thank you. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.